I'm going to get started on the concept of alkaline versus acidic. And what is it really? What we have, what is known as a pH balance, and it's measured on a scale. So there's, on one side, you have starting at 1, and on the other side, you have 14. So 1 would be extremely acidic. Think like battery acid acidic. On the other side is very, very alkaline. It goes from, they measure it from 1 to 14. Now, we have different bodily functions, like organs and fluids in our body that have different pH levels, and there's a reason why they have like an acidic level and an alkaline level. So the first thing I'd like to clear up is alkaline is great, but it is not always, it doesn't always mean better. So there's functions in our bodies, like our stomach acid, for instance, is very acidic, and it has to be to break down all sorts of food. And we have fluid in our adrenal glands, for instance, that are more alkaline. There's different functions in our bodies with the organs and fluids that have different acidity levels, and for a reason. And it's very important that those levels stay where they should be. And I've been doing a little bit of reading up on this more recently just to get freshened up, because it's always been an interesting topic to me. But you want to keep your blood pH level, and that's mainly the most important one that you can measure by. And you want it to be in between like 7, like right in the middle, but it can vary like a few points, like 7.3 or 7.4. So it's in a very small margin that you want to keep that pH balance in check. If it actually goes, say, 1 point, like to 8, which is more alkaline, or down to 6 even, there can actually be serious problems. So it's important that it stays in that same level. I don't want to get into how the body functions through this because it's not my area of expertise, but if you want to know more about this, I was looking up this guy on YouTube. I believe his name was Brett Berg, and he talks about how the systems work all together and what symptoms happens if you're too alkaline or too acidic. So you can check him out on YouTube, and I can put that link in here if you like. Now I'm going to talk about how we can first identify if we're too acidic. The first thing is, if you have sleep issues, if you are like, say, you're wired a lot, but you're very tired, your mind's racing at night, but you don't sleep much, very likely you are a little too on the acidic side. And even if you have an increased heart rate, that's another sign that you might be too acidic. Anxiousness, nausea, weakness, just feeling very low energy, very highly likely that you might be too acidic. So there are obviously certain things that you can do nutritionally that will help you stay in a healthy balance. When it comes to keeping in a healthy balance with nutrition, alkaline is the direction to go. We have a big problem we face, especially in our Western culture. Our food is refined, processed, loaded with sugar, unnecessary fats, and they are all very, very acidic. Some of the most acidic foods are things like Coca-Cola, sodas, basically, refined sugary foods, refined grains even, they're very acidic. And so any unnatural source of sugar, especially in a higher amount, is very, very acidic. I've seen this a few times, actually, that the average person consumes about 150 pounds of sugar a year. Could you imagine? Now, you might be close to that. You might not even know, right? But I probably consume quite a bit of sugar myself. I mean, mostly healthy sugar like fruits and stuff. But the average person, think about that, 150 pounds of sugar, that's more than what I weigh. Like, so you can just imagine what that does over the long term to the functions in your body. So we want to be more alkaline, and that can be rather difficult when we are on the road trying to get some healthy food choices. The first thing is, if you're not already doing this especially, is to think green. So, green foods. I mean, most of us know how important they are. Vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, celery, anything green. Just think green foods, and you are going to be on the alkaline side. So how many of you would say you're not having your 8 to 10 servings of greens or vegetables per day? I don't quite meet it actually myself, which is a shame. But adding more greens is really, really going to help, especially if you have these symptoms like, say, sleep issues or maybe an irregular heartbeat. That can cause high blood pressure. You definitely want to become more alkaline. And adding more fruits and vegetables are going to be a healthy choice. So other things like, there's a lot of fruits that are more alkaline. So sugar's not the enemy here. If it comes from a healthy natural source, a lot of different fruits are quite alkaline. And pure distilled water, I use naturally filtered water it's very clean. That's a good choice too. That's around neutral on the scale, and that's very healthy. Another thing is, I've heard this a couple times, that 1 can of Coca-Cola does enough negative effects that to counter that, you would have to drink 32 glasses of water. So think about that. If someone is actually even drinking more than 1 can of Coke, and how many glasses of water would you actually have to drink to kind of counter that? So you're really setting yourself back by doing a few of those things. Not sure if that's true, but I don't drink soda myself because I just know how bad it is for me and how bad it makes me feel. And if you ever get like heartburn, things like that, that stuff is very acidic. So it would be definitely worth trying something else, like maybe even carbonated water if you like carbonation. But the second thing is, reduce acidifying foods and drinks. So again, I'll kind of cover what these are. But there's also a chart. If you look up alkaline and acidic foods, you can see a chart, and there's tons of them on the internet, but most of them are roughly the same. But things like that you really want that are really acidic, like I said, are sugary drinks, sodas, refined grains, like some of the cereals out there that even perceived to be healthy might not be the best thing for you. And even coffee, unfortunately, is very acidic. And I know how much most of us love coffee, but coffee is actually very acidic, but it does have some health benefits. Other things that are acidic are actually a lot of meats, like red meat, very acidic. Most meat is acidic. But the less acidic would be like the white meats and fish. Eggs are kind of okay. I mean, they're neutral. Anything that's high, like a high protein amount, tends to be a little bit more acidic. But when you start looking into like the plant forms of protein, like tofu, like soybeans, lentils, and stuff like that, they're a bit more alkaline. So you have those options there to require your protein needs, which is very important. And the other thing, which is very interesting that I learned, what about tea? It really depends what kind of tea, Krista. I mean, black tea, I believe, is more acidic. Green tea is quite alkaline. And herbal tea, most herbal teas are very alkaline. So There you go too. And it depends on the quality of water as well. That will make a difference as well. Most of our calcium is stored in our bones, and it's an alkalizing mineral, which I found very interesting, that the body will do whatever it can to keep it in the neutral state that it's supposed to be in, and it will do things like pull calcium from your bones if it's not getting enough of it through alkaline food sources. So you want to make sure you are incorporating greens and vegetables, alkaline food sources, just to keep that healthy balance. Because not everyone's going to give up milk. So the other thing is, I do this now, lemon water. So water on itself is good, but lemon water is even better. Lemons, is very citrusy, and it's known to be acidic. That's true. In nature, certain foods are known to be acidic or alkaline in nature. But what matters is what happens when it's processed in the body. So it's acidic in nature, but very alkaline when ingested. So lemon water is very, very healthy, very good with water. I like it with warm water in the morning. Very good it's good, so many health benefits to doing it, but being alkaline is one of them. And apple cider vinegar is actually another good thing too. I'll put like a little bit of it in there, and it's very, very healthy. You can look up the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. But yeah, staying hydrated is very, very important. And the other thing is, this is the last tip I'll share, that's non-nutrition, but I believe in this one firmly, is actually to remember to breathe. Take deep breaths. A lot of us actually forget how to breathe. Can you just take a few moments out of your day and just breathe in through the nose and lightly through out the mouth in a slow, controlled manner? Just a long breath will actually help alkalize the body big time. Because a lot of us go through stress in the day, and we just need to slow down. So just a few deep breaths will actually help you as well. So those are some tips. Again, think green, reduce very acidic foods and drinks. You can still have them. I know on occasion you're going to have them. Chocolate is one of them. Chocolate's actually quite acidic. I know a lot of you are going to be spending money on chocolates tonight. Don't feel guilty about it. Enjoy it as much. Life's too short to eliminate all the fun, enjoyable, pleasurable things in life. Just in moderation. Lemon water, again, and taking deep breaths. So those are my tips for tonight. Enjoy your Valentine's Day, everybody. And if you got some good info out of this, please let me know. Share this content. And if you're open to knowing more about any nutrition advice, I'm here. I'm available. I do 15-minute coaching calls. If you're open to that, drop me a line, private messenger, and I'll get back to you. Take care, everybody. Bye.